Elin was born, she was a happy, healthy little child. We had no idea that anything could be wrong with her. About 12 hours after she was born, when we were still in the hospital, she turned purple, and it was this dusky color that, as a mother, you see your child turn that color and your heart just breaks. You don't know why that's happening. And they rushed Elin down the hall, and they were able to revive her. And I remember coming into the room and wondering, if she was alive. It was so scary. I remember I'd stay awake at nights worrying about what was wrong with Elin, what was wrong with Elin, why isn't she doing this, why isn't she doing that? And that's why we came to Kindering, because I needed to see if there was somebody who could help us figure out what was wrong with her and help her do those things that I knew she should be doing. Elin has partial agenesis of the corpus callosum, which means she is missing a chunk of the middle of her brain, so her left and right hemispheres don't speak to each other as well as in typically developing people. Right now with Elin, we are working on transitioning her from seated to lying down to 4-point, also to kneeling, and then doing some standing as well. Nicole has me bending her knees and doing these things that make her do what she's supposed to do, and in a pattern where she can learn to do it correctly, and hopefully she can continue to move from there onto the next steps.
Thank you, sis. That's so nice.
So this is actually another great skill to work on. Every time she turns and rotates, she's using all of those side oblique tummy muscles.
We know everything that we're doing with Elin, they're just little teeny steps, but the little teeny steps add up to a great big movement, like rolling over. And we just did all these different things to get her to roll over, and you didn't think it's ever going to come together, and then all of a sudden she's rolling all over the place. It's just amazing to see how adding all these little things up that you wouldn't know how to do on your own, having somebody coach you and take you through the movements, how to raise her arm, how to move her leg, how to position her body in a certain way to get her to move correctly, helps her to actually be able to do what a typically developing child would just normally do without thinking. It's so great to see when she finally reaches the goal that you set for her, when she finally rolls over. She definitely knows that she's done something. I mean, she looks at you like, hey, that was pretty cool. I know that I just did something that you've been wanting me to do for a really long time.
Good job! Nice work! That was an awesome push.
We have big dreams for Elin. We have, an idea of who she will become and what she will be, but we want her to find her own path, and we want to support her as the best we can to get to where she can get to.
Kelly was a beautiful baby. She looked like a little living doll. There is a genetic reason that she has a global developmental delay. She has a microdeletion on the short arm of her second chromosome. Her pediatrician referred us to the Kindering Center when Kelly was 14 months old.
Kindering helped me with reading and writing and sign language.
Kindering was such a nurturing environment. They gave me confidence to allow her to grow, to become the person she is today.
It feels really awesome taking the bus on my own.
A few years ago, I still wouldn't have been able to believe that she'd be able to ride a bus. I didn't see her as an independent pedestrian, let alone getting on a metro by herself. One day, she texted me she wanted to meet me at the mall, and I said, why don't I pick you up? And she said, no, I'll meet you at the mall. And I know that involved transfers and everything, and she met me at the mall.
I take a 2:45 bus to my work, Little People World.
So now that you're all grown up and a lady, what kind of things are you able to do?
Do anything.
Anything?
Mm-hmm.
I would never dream that she would be where she is now, an independent young woman it's too good to be true.
Having a child with special needs it's difficult. But I feel that Elin has given us something more than our family could have had without her. And having her in our life has been just a blessing, and we consider her a gift. And everything she does, she's just so joyful, and she's so loving, and she's just such a wonderful person. If our family didn't have this resource, I'm not sure where we'd be, but Kindering is able to give us the tools that we need to get her where she needs to go.
I look at her now, 21 years old, an independent woman with a job, and I think back to when she was a baby, and I knew there would be needs that are different from others. And I know that if Kindering hadn't been there to help guide us on those first steps, it would have been a different story. I don't know how to express from my heart how important I feel like it is for people to support Kindering. You don't know until you're in that situation how something like that would feel, and to have a place like this, it's everything.